Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at how to replace the connector on the 5G antenna of an iPhone. So let's get started. I was told that this iPhone was going through a repair of some kind, and they had the 5G antenna disconnected and it was touching the housing. So when they went to test it, it sparked and it burnt the connector or something like that. So today I'm going to show how to fix that issue. And we're going to talk about how this type of repair can apply to other things as well. So let's go under the microscope, because that's going to be the easiest way to see what we're going to be doing. Before we do that, let's quickly find out what we're dealing with. This phone has obviously come apart before, so it's going to be easy to take apart, just like that. The screen will pop up. Let's open it up, and this is the area we're going to be addressing. Let's go ahead and disconnect the battery of the display. Set that aside. Take out the battery, and let's disconnect everything so that we can access the 5G antenna for the repair. The majority of the world doesn't have to deal with this type of repair because there is no 5G antenna. It's just us. I left one screw in for the motherboard, which means this is going to come out quickly. Alright, and they've even taped off the area damage. So let's pop that off and see what we're dealing with. Peel off the tape, and yep, we've got just a burnt connector right there. You can see pretty charred. Now let's go under the microscope. Alright, looking at it under the microscope, we can clearly now see the damage that was done. My hope is that the traces are still good on the burned areas, and we're going to be able to find that out pretty quick. Alright, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to take some flux. I'm going to take a blob of solder paste. So you can use any solder really for this. I'm going to get out my iron, and we're going to basically cover the whole thing in solder, and it'll just pop right away. You can see the connector is off already. And then I'm just going to gently go down to the pads, and those three are good. The grounding pads on this side are good, and on that side they're okay. And the hope is that these ones are okay as well. And it looks like I still have some burnt area on this side. To see what we're up against, I'll take some isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to try to clean up the area. Now I'm going to take some wick, and we're going to suck up all of the solder. And it looks like we've got some fusion going on here with a little piece of the connector. It's attached to this ground plane on the edge. We'll clean it up a little bit more. Alright, after a little bit of cleaning, you can see where we're at now. What it should look like is this one right here. You can see one of the traces has been kind of exposed to the solder, and the other two pads have fused to the pin. I'm going to try to get that off with some flux and take the iron, come in with some solder. Seeing a little bit of movement in it, but it's really stuck on there. It's welded itself. It's not just soldered, it's welded. Let's see if I can wick it off. Alright, so I'm going to grind off that section very carefully. Alright, so I'm at a point here. Normally they're not this bad. Alright, I'm going to carefully take the new connector with some isopropyl alcohol and remove the sticker, and we'll apply this later to the flex. But for now, let me show you the easy way to remove these connectors. Alright, I'm going to take my soldering iron, and the back side of the connector here on the flex is metal. So all I have to do is touch the iron to it and let that heat transfer through, and the connector will pop right off just like that. Now I'm going to take my multimeter real quick and see if I can figure out how important these are. Okay, so these lines right here, so these lines are connected to these lines, like so, that they go opposite each other. And what's quite nice is this what looks like ground plane down there is actually connected over here, and it's not touching the ground plane. So these corners here are ground. If I touch my probe to this little grounding circle over here, and I touch these corners, we get continuity. And these ones I don't. Alright, so I'm uncovering that other little bit there, I want to check and see if it's the same line, which it looks like it will be, but it might be a ground plane. Alright, so we don't want to go all the way down to that one. That's ground. So I'm going to take a dab of UV mask and cover up everything that I don't want to be exposed. We'll then cure it with the UV light. Alright, after a couple minutes, let's go in real quick. I'm going to add a little bit of flux. Take our iron with some solder. For those of you that are curious, my iron is currently set at 285 degrees Celsius. And what I'm trying to do is get each one of these pads to have the same amount of solder roughly on it as the next one, as well as that ground or that plane that we uncovered. Now I'm going to take my multimeter and just double check. Let's clean up that flux so that it's easier to see. First we'll clean it up. Okay, and let's test and see if we've got the right continuity on all of those. So first things first, I'm just going to go across this, and we've got continuity. And these, let's see, all of the others are good. The only issue is I've somehow managed to scrape a teeny bit of ground plane right there. I don't want that to potentially bridge. So I'm going to spend another minute under the UV light with another drop of mask right on top of that area there. And you might be asking yourself, why would I go through this extra work for just the one connector? Well, if you ever soldered on a 5G antenna, you'll understand why. It's a blind solder. It's a little tricky, so this is much more preferred, even with this extra work. Now I'm going to come in with a small amount of flux. And I'm going to come in with some hot air, and I've got it set at 300 degrees. Now I'm going to come in with the connector. We'll plop it in place, and I'll gently come in at it with some heat, making sure I don't char or singe any of the plastic. If I start to see any deformation of the plastic, I'm going to pull away the heat and cover the connector itself in flux. I'm actually going to come in with a little bit of flux to help things flow on both sides. The flux can act like a shield for the plastic, which is quite unique. And we'll warm it up. Now I'm going to come in with my iron, and I'm just going to tap on each one of these legs just to make sure that they're all secure. Looks good. We'll go to the other side. Alright, and with a little pinch, that looks good as well. I'm going to come down in on this corner and make sure that the solder transfers up to that pin, which it does. Now for the moment of truth. Do we have continuity across the pins? We're looking for continuity from these little short ones across each other. So we have it. The grounders, we have it. And do we have the grounding to the center? Let's see. Okay, ground. Alright, and next I'm just going to check the resistance between the short, between all the lines. So here we've got 0.28, that's good. On this side we should have the same, 0.28. Here we should have 0.38. This is ground. This one should be 0.59. I think I need to tap this one more because it's not making contact. This one, 0.18, that's good, ground. And this one should be 0.36. Which is good. So everything but that first pin on the bottom is making good contact. So we'll add a little bit of flux. There we go. Let's check that pin now. 0.6. Yep, we're good. All right, we'll come in with some isopropyl alcohol and we'll clean it up. Take a brush to it and just a closer look. You can see nice solder coming up from that one burnt area that we dealt with. And the cherry on top. And back the little sticker, and we're done. That's how to replace the connector only on an iPhone 5G antenna. Now if it's the flex that's damaged, I will link a video showing how to replace the entire flex right here, and you might then see why replacing only the connector if and when possible, although sometimes a little bit more intricate, is worth it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If there's something that you'd like to see in a future video, let me know as well. Thanks a ton for watching. We'll see you in the next video.